Hello everybody, and welcome to Phelan Pub week 7. Yep, no. And I am here with some guests that you probably know. We have Billy, the mid laner for Excel. Oh, go ahead and introduce yourself just a bit for those that maybe don't know you.
Hey, I'm the mid laner for XL Academy, as you said. And, it's my second time being on the show, actually.
Yeah, second time.
Back by popular demand? Question mark.
We also have Faux, the top laner for Newcastle Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'm Fox, and I was the top laner
Oh yeah.
for Newcastle Jaguars. Um, we had a bit of a breakup, but it was fun while it lasted.
Yep. Okay. And well, lastly, previews. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm Pravis. I'm the former Radiant Esports jungler. Yeah, that was a great team.
And we all know Radiant Esports is a really well-known team here in the. So basically, Phelan Pub, we are going to talk about the matchups that this week, no, last week happened coming into ESL Division. Um, so first of all, I'm seeing that New England Null and Enclave didn't play. Radiant Esports Hyperion Academy also didn't play. It's like a 0-0. I have been waiting for over like a week, expecting this to update. It's not updating. I don't know why. Uh, did all these 4 teams disband or something?
I think I know Radiant disbanded. I'm pretty sure New England just gave up the game. I think they didn't have a roster.
But then what? Then it should be like a win for Enclave and Hyperion, right?
I think it's if you don't turn up to the lobby, then
Oh, they
it's
just,
quite a weird thing. New England at the same time.
Mildly unfortunate.
that's quite unfortunate. Yes. Um, I will add arc here, 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 this filters. Let me filter this so I can show you guys the uh here. This. So now you guys should be able to see um I want like this. Yep, you should be able to see how the games went here. So let's go first with Newcastle Jaguars Excel, just because it will be better for the organization of this stream. I think for the hype, for building the hype and everything. So let's go. Newcastle Jaguars Excel 1-2, Excel 1. Now these games were a long time ago, but try to remember guys a bit. Meanwhile, I will just be talking about how first game went in Pick and Bonds. You guys try to remember how it went. So for Excel, we have Tuomari with Sion top, Clown Sky, ha ha ha, with Trundle Jungle, Billy with Azir, Fox with Kaisa, and Fastleg with Jana. And for Newcastles, we have Irelia for Paux, Play Focus Improve with Skarner, Carniflex with Oriana, I am Casper with Caitlyn, and Dandy with Morgana. So, how the matchup went, Billy? Start with your point of view.
I think the game was going. Actually, no, the game was never okay. It was like 10 minutes in, and Forks 1v2'd our top and jungle. So, and like it's a really snowballing matchup for Aurelia, from what I saw, because later on Aurelia was just tower diving the Scion and like basically won the game.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fox, please explain to us how you did to just single-handedly win the game.
No, yeah, that was pretty much it. It was one good fight, and it was also a really good matchup. Irelia is in a really strong spot, and they also banded the next two games.
Yeah.
It was easier for us to close it out because we also had a Caitlyn Morgana bot lane, and Casper also did really well that game. But I think I just got too far ahead.
On coming into this matchup as Newcastle, did you guys prepare for this specific match with Irelia? Because this was like close to Irelia being just released, if I'm not mistaken. The rework Irelia. So did you guys prepare a lot with this new Irelia just to show up because you know that the enemy top laner will be playing tanks, or how was the preparation for this matchup?
I just decided that Irelia looked good. Uh, I also have like 300,000 mastery points on the old Irelia. It was my complete one trick for like a whole season. So when it got updated, I just hopped on it immediately. I saw it was really strong, and I got to try it out in very few scrims. We didn't really practice it as a team, but I kind of decided what I wanted to play myself. So I just went Irelia. I said it was good. I'm gonna win. Just put me on Irelia.
And this was also quite a important matchup coming in because if you guys win and Phelan loses to Digital Warfare, you get a tie for second place coming like for the final.
Yeah.
So coming into that, how was the nerves in the team and the atmosphere? Let's say coming for example, Newcastle Jaguars were maybe on us like coming into this matchup as the expected to be second and not being able to win against Axel from the first point. How was the team morale?
I mean, we definitely wanted to win, and I think some people were more nervous than others. Personally, I just, I wanted to play my best and have a good time. Uh, it was always fun to play against Fax. He's my former teammate, so I wanted to stump him a bit, and I got two in the first game. But other than that, of course we prepared before the week because we'd been on a bit of a downtrend recently, so we were feeling kind of down and wanted to win. But happens. We just prepared it a bit, not much more than we used to, and
I see.
tried it out.
On coming for you, Billy, with Axel, how was also the morale coming into this match?
I think the morale was good because we had hope for making the final. There was a bit of misunderstanding between everyone though, because we thought that, well, half the team thought that if we lost one game, we were out of the running. So after the first game, it was like a bit on edge. But we
Okay.
I think we knew how to beat them after playing against them in one game. Or
So this basically answered what was going to be my next question, which was how was the team morale after losing this first game? So you guys felt like you could just come back and you identify the problems coming in this first game.
I mean, you're like, the way we lost, it might have given us a false sense of security because like it was so obviously one pick that lost us the game and one matchup. So going into the next game, at least I was confident to say like, just get either tank versus tank or carry versus tank in favor of us top lane, and we'll be really fine, I think.
I see. Well, previous for you, my question is going to be clearly in this first draft. What do you think coming into this first draft, basically? Who you felt like which team you felt had the better coming into this first match? Do you believe that? Do you agree with Billy that it was this one match that just got out of hand, or do you think that it was just basically looking at this? I don't know if you watched the game or
Yeah, I think I watched some of them.
oh,
Yeah,
you watched the game, perfect. So
yeah.
as a
I think
spectator, what you felt was the first match?
I like looking at the team thing. I'm quite surprised that Areka actually sort of like 2v1 like that. I mean, Aurelia is pretty weak early game. That's as a general, you look to kind of just shut her down early, if you get me. So the fact she's able to sort of 1v2 is quite sort of surprising, if you get me. So I guess that was probably the turning point of the game, probably, you know what I mean? Because you just allow her to get ahead for no reason, sort of thing. So that's probably, in all fairness, that probably was the one thing. I think if they'd played it correctly and they'd actually shut down the Aurelia, they probably wouldn't have just straight up lost the game. I think it would have been much closer, but I think, again, yeah, that was just the turning point.
Everyone seems kind to agree. Let's just kind of move to game 2 and see how everything developed. So, meanwhile, Billy and Hawkes try to remember how the game went previous. Let's just talk a bit about these pick and bans for this game 2. So here we see that Newcastle Jaguars went for this time a tank top laner with the Maokai. We see a Camille jungle, Ryze mid, and Shaya Rakan bot lane. And for XL, we see Fiora top, Trundle jungle, Swain mid, Ezreal and Braum support. So kind of we're saying here, right, that both teams just swapped. And in the past game, they had XL had the tank top, but now it's New England with the tank top and the carry. They just swapped the place with the carry and the tank. What do you feel about this coming from the first game?
Oh, yes, give me that, yeah.
Yeah, basically. So, first game we saw New England with the carry top and Excel with the tank.
Yeah.
For this second game, they swapped in the pick and ban, and now is Newcastle with the tank top and Excel with the carry. How you feel like this affects based on what we know about the teams? How you felt like that draft went?
Well, I think in like a 3-game or a 5-game series, you kind of get your own like mini metas like during the sort of thing. So I mean, obviously the meta kind of became like who had the carry top player sort of thing. And I'm pretty sure, Forks, I'm pretty sure you are mainly a carry top player. I think, from, looking at your matches and stuff that I used to look at. So I think like obviously getting Fiora versus Maokai is massively Fiora favored. So, but I'm kind of surprised she kind of was so far behind looking at the KDA sort of thing. So
I mean,
I'm not too sure what happened there, but
You say it's massively Fiora favorite, but I did solo kill him and win my lane in CS as well.
yeah, but it should be.
And just basically looking at the team comps, what you feel, which is the stronger team comp, also taking consideration, because I see just from this like first glance, I see a lot of late game coming from Axel, for example. I see the Fiora, I see a Swain, maybe an Ezreal with the double tier. Ezreal double tier, has a power spike in the mid game and also late game. But I see a lot of game in late game here. Meanwhile, for Newcastle, I see more of a mid game focus, even though the Rise also needs items on the Shire. But how you feel taking consideration how was game 1, these adaptations? Do you believe that the teams adapted to the draft, or they just keep like going their own thing?
I think they're kind of going their own thing. I'm not sure because I mean, I personally I don't like Camille jungle at all because I think it's too sort of coin flip and it's very reliant on getting ahead. Otherwise, you're completely useless. And taking that into Trundle, you just get neutralized straight away because it's a Trundle. It just doesn't die, and it has a stronger early game than you. So I think trying to have like this early game, comp compared to a late game comp, taking the Camille that can't actually do anything because she's against Trundle, you just kind of. So I think to be honest, Exo just won the draft completely with that. I mean, you've got Zyra Khan against Braum, which is very difficult to kill, and an Ezreal. So kind of just shuts down the points to win. The bits you can actually play around to win the game. But yeah, so I think they were just allowed to scale, sort of thing.
So let's move now to the players. Billy, what do you talk about this draft and this game being in person there and basically playing the game?
It started off really well, and then there was like a series of events that put them in the. Well, I just linked the goal graph, and they were like ahead the whole game. But there was one play that I remember that I think gave me momentum to think I'm gonna win this game. It was basically they just dove our bot lane and got. I don't know if you remember. Fox, but you dove our bot lane and got 2 or 3 kills, and then I TP'd in, and there was 4 of you alive, and just me and Ezreal left. Do you remember? And it was like,
It sounds like something we would do.
yeah, and then like I got like a triple kill, and I was like dodging point blank Carney rise Qs on like 2 HP.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
we forgot to turn our aimbot on that game. I
yeah.
remember that.
I think like despite them being ahead, that was a really big like morale swing for us because I got like 3 kills and I was feeling myself after that. Like I was so confident, and but we were behind the whole game. We just took a massive team fight at the end, and we pretty much just won off of that. To be honest, Fax was smurfing too.
Faust, what you felt about the game? Do you think that you were going to win the game, but some kind of throw made you lose, or?
I mean, we were a bit nervous, but decently happy. I was originally going to play Camille top, but the Fiora came in. I didn't really wanna, and Gifai, who by the way is looking for a team, if you're interested in a jungler, had been spamming Camille jungle and solo queue like all week. So we decided to switch it up a bit. I knew that I could play Maokai and solo kill the Fiora without an issue all the time, so I went for it. We just weren't really prepared for the Estral pick's damage. We played against New England LOL, I think, early on, and they picked Swain Estral, and the draft was just, it had no damage, and we just rolled over them in the late game. But the new Estral build as well, it had a lot of damage, and with the Fiora, so we thought we could just snowball it off with the Syra Khan. I'm not entirely sure what went wrong, but it didn't end up working out. In fact, just really did a lot of things, like in the late game.
I see. So basically, you guys now were 1-1, and at this point, previous, who you were watching the stream, who you think game 3? Who you were thinking, oh, is going to win game 3?
I was thinking, to be honest, XL, because I think in the games that I watched, they just looked more clean. If you get me, they knew what they were doing. They weren't so sort of hesitant. They weren't just getting caught all the time, sort of thing. So I think that was the main reason. I just thought they were more than likely going to take the game.
Billy, did you thought that as well? That after this win, you were going to win next game for sure, or you were kind of nervous because this last win was kind of enemy throw win, and not you guys actually being able to hold the game?
I think after we changed up our strategy and like got a decent matchup top, even if it didn't go in our favor, we felt like Forks not being on a carry like prevented their team from doing a lot of things. Because like he's a Maokai, he just CCs, but he can't 1v9. So I was pretty confident going to game 3, to be honest.
I see. And Fox, coming to game 3, were you confident? Were you nervous?
I mean, I was a bit nervous because it seems they'd figured out to ban all the carries, right? Looking at the draft, I see we didn't pick Camille, so I'm pretty sure they banned Camille as well. I figured I'd just pick a tank and see what happened, but the Kled pick came out, and the entire reason that I have respect for the enemy top laner is actually that his Kled was really good. Even though Cyan is like the best Kled matchup you can get, he played it really well and put down a lot more pressure than I thought he would have. I also personally think we have a lot of issues doing anything when I'm on a tank, but we still thought we could pull it through, especially since Cyan has a lot of global pressure. It just didn't end up coming together.
On previous, coming at this last game, this draft, we have for Excel, Kled top, Graves jungle, Swain mid again for Billy, Kaylin for Fox, and Rakan for Fastleg. And then for Newcastle, we have Sion top, Trundle jungle, Cassiopeia mid, Sivir ADC, and Braum support. Now, this draft, after 1-1, it's only now it's basically a best of one. After the 2 matches before, who you're thinking, because now it's clearly that you're like, yes, for sure, Excel is going to win. They have the best draft, they have a lot of early pressure and everything. Or do you think, well, maybe they can, because they were kind of sloppy, maybe they will make some mistakes?
I think, like, looking at draft wise, I mean, you've got Graves into Trundle, which is a very good, matchup for Graves. You can just invade, you can just put a massive amount of pressure. You've kind of got a lot of like lanes that allow you to get priority, so you can just easily go for the invade. So I think just automatically in the jungle, Graves just wins the game, sort of early game. So it just allows him to just do whatever he wants to. I think they've got, obviously they've got good tower taking with Caitlyn. I think just got like a well-rounded comp really. I don't know. Like looking at it, it's just I think again, XL just outdrafted. I think, to be honest, just purely with the Graves, in my opinion.
Well, Billy, about this game, you're probably the last one to talk about how you felt this last third game. How it was. How do you felt it was?
Uh, I think it was our side lane, our top lane was like creating so much pressure, it made us easy to shot call around the map. Like it was so obvious what to do when top laner is like at their inhib tower. So it's just like you pressure Baron. If they come to you, you get the inhib. If not, you get the Baron. Like
Oh, so
pretty
finally, you
simple.
guys were able to have kind of a more clean game, more more of a your style game rather than the enemy team having control and then you just kind of fighting back,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
everything. So well, this basically was the deciding match for like this possible tiebreaker into Phelan. I'm pretty sure that sorry, you were quite happy with like because you were 2-1, so really happy that maybe you got to play that tiebreaker. And probably from Newcastle's maybe kind of demoralized because you just get to be fourth place if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
In this league, basically there were four teams. If we're going to be fully honest, it feels like it was a league with only four teams, but still it was a really good actuation on show up from Newcastle Jaguars, I think, over all weeks. So
Man, why
excellent
you
save.
gotta rub it in?
What, sir?
Sorry.
Nothing, nothing. But yeah, it was clear that there was a clear divide between
Oh
the
yes,
two teams, the
yes,
split.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Basically it felt like this league had only four teams actually playing. I mean, taking like if you look just at the last week games, there's only two matches, so that tells you a lot about this, how this division went.
Yeah. I think
And
the gold graphs I sent you were bugged for some
uh,
showing the wrong colors. That was us being ahead both games instead of us being behind.
oh, I just noticed. Sorry, because I have Discord with the streaming thing, so I didn't catch it. Oh, I see. I hear the gold graphs.
So they're like backwards for some reason. It shows that it's a lead for the opposite team when it's really not.
Oh, that's because the blue represents your.
Oh,
It's
what? Oh, and I was looking at blue side. Oh, I'm so dumb.
yeah. It's like Riot does this thing where blue is you, red is the enemy, but it's not blue red side. They only do blue red side when it's in only like LCS and stuff like that.
But that game 2 graph, that's our lead again, but it's in red when we're blue side. It's so confusing.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I was like, this doesn't add up, and then I looked at all the like the objectives and kills we had, and I was like, there's no way we're 12k gold down at 20 minutes.
and
Literally.
just Riot things, I guess. And well, after that on Friday we played as Phelan against Digital Warfare. The match that decided basically Phelan had to play against Axel for second spot. And well, game one came, and I will just talk a bit about how the draft went. The enemy team, Digital Warfare, picked Orn top, Olaf jungle, Lissandra mid, Varus ADC, and Alistar support. And for Phelan Gaming, we have Maokai top, Kayn jungle, Kassadin mid, and then Kaisa Morgana support. So previous, I'm going to let you talk about. Well, all of you can talk. Let's start with previous. How you think this draft went and everything.
I think first of all, I was really surprised by how one-sided the first game was. To be honest, I thought, honestly, Digital Warfare would be a lot stronger coming to this, and then watching it, it was just they just rolled over. I don't really like the Lissandra pick. Honestly, I don't really think that's good right now because they need them more. You need like a mid laner that can actually like hold their own and not be kind of bullied or I don't know. I feel like I'm not too sure what the kind of dig or comp
Do you
want to
remember
do
the
there.
bans at all?
So the bonds were. I don't quite remember the bonds.
Did you like 5-ban enemy mid laner or?
I think Cassiopeia was Bon and LeBlanc was Bon. I'm not quite sure. But no, there was a lot of mid laners open.
Mm. I mean, Corner
If I'm
got
not,
Maokai.
I think that most of the bans came for the jungle, for where we banned Kha'Zix. I think that Skarner was banned too. On, if I'm not, I think Graves maybe even got banned. That.
Yeah, I agree. The Lissandra pick is, I mean, it can work maybe, but you have to put so much resources into Lissandra when there's like,
I think if they picked it like maybe game 2, it would have worked better. I think 'cause, you know, you get that sort of mini meta thing if you know how the enemies are going to play. And
Victor,
yeah,
question for you: how much did you pay Dig War for them to pick Lissandra?
Okay, so I'm going to try to tell about what happened. So basically, we picked Kassadin, and they had last pick mid lane. And we
What?
picked Kassadin because it was, from what it was open, the only thing that they could actually contest with was Galio. And because we have Kaisa and Kane, we were kind of like fine. We're fine with they pick Galio. And they don't have that much pressure mid because of all of that. Because of how Digital Warfare play. And kind of we already knew that there's no way they pick Galio mid like with Bangu. And maybe we were expecting some kind of assassin to come in, or maybe Lucian mid or something to
Yeah,
kind of
because
bully.
Mango has played Lucian mid in this division before.
Yeah, so I was expecting something like that. I actually was really afraid of picking Kassadin, but I was like, okay, let's pick it. It's first game, let's see how it goes. Because I knew that they could actually try something. And I think that they got scared because of the Kassadin because they didn't expect the Kassadin to be here. And I think that their idea was, okay, because Kassadin is just going to be farming mid, Kai'Sa is going to be farming, and Maokai is not going to do anything. Also, Kane kind of wants to farm too. We're going to pick Alessandra, probably they practice. We're going to pick a really proactive comp, and probably their idea was to push mid, get priority, and then just rotate Lissandra bot and just hard abuse lane or top lane, and just make a lot of plays using a lot of the CC that they have because they have a lot of CC and a lot of early game pressure in that sense. So I'm guessing that that was their strategy, but their problem was that Bango wasn't really confident with Lissandra, and Deluxe is really confident with Kassadin. And I think that the Kane, they did not expect that pick either, so I think they just got confused with that and played bad the early game. And when you play bad the early game against our comp, kind of got tempo. So I feel that that was kind of the problem that went into this game. And I think that the Lissandra pick I mean, it's not a good pick, but I understand, or I think I understand why they will go for that. But it's a weird pick for sure.
I think if they got like a Karma mid or something, that would have been pretty good. Like Syndra is really well with the Olaf, and you also
Yeah,
have
like
like
you said,
Ardent for the
they already
Varus.
have,
Yes.
they already have so much CC. Like they have Alistar Varus, but I don't know why you'd need another.
Yeah.
I believe that they probably practice the Sandra into Kaisa because Kaisa is like mood blood and everything. So probably they are like, oh, let's practice this Sandra because that can keep like Kaisa, in one place until she has like QSS or something, and maybe let's play around that. Seal is maybe not the best, but I think I understand the idea behind. On
I mean, yeah, you can understand why they would think it. It's just wrong. It doesn't work
Yeah,
against
yeah,
Kai'Sa. It
it
doesn't work
doesn't
you
against
can
work.
like,
Morgana either. It makes
it's
no
this.
sense at all.
You can see the logic in the pick, but it's at the same time
Yeah,
it's like,
it's just wrong.
what's the point in picking this out? She's like literally C tier mid
It
laner.
seems like they just outdraft themselves, right? Like it's a budget Talia pick, but if you have a Talia who isn't even good against Kassadin, that good at least, when you roam bot the second time and they don't have flashes, they can't go over the wall. But guess what Lissandra doesn't have? It's the wall. She just goes in, she ults someone, oh wait, there's some orc shield, or it's a Kaisa in stealth later on, and it just doesn't do anything. You can't even lane that well against a Kassadin because your
Yeah,
queuing is
your
so
lane
short.
is,
It makes no sense.
especially with the mana changes, like your Q costs so much, and then
You just fuse it back. What did you
yeah.
accomplish?
Yeah. I mean, I think the real thing to look at is that a corner got Maokai, so they lost the game anyway. So
No, you definitely needed pressure mid and then go invade the Raptors away from Kane with the Olaf. Otherwise, you lose the game.
Yes, it was kind of this draft I think they were just surprised with the Cassidy pick. I don't know, and they just kind of, they failed to execute early game. After that, Kassadin got ahead, and when Kassadin gets ahead, he's kind of a big lane play
That's a
because he's
very
super strong. And kind of when did you guys were able to see the game live? Because if someone is happy,
I haven't watched any
you,
games from.
Yeah, the Newcastle, no, not the Newcastle one, the Diggle game got streamed by Diggle, I think. I can't remember.
and did you watch it, Billy?
no, I didn't get to see it. I think it was
You
no,
were
it was
so
some.
confident that you were. I don't need to watch the game. I know. Digital Warfare is
It got
going
like
to win.
it got yeah. They were talking so much smack about like how they were gonna definitely beat everyone, and then they get like 2-0 so fucking badly.
Yeah,
pretty
it was quite
embarrassing.
surprising how like badly they got beat in the first game though. Like
Even the
they got
second
2
game wasn't
kills.
that
like
close. Like
I mean,
Yeah.
coming into second game, I think they were just tilted from first game. I do believe that that was the reason. On first game, I think it was some, I don't know exactly what. I think that the pick and ban just didn't go properly to what they were missing or anything. But in any scenario, this first game was like that, kind of uh, unexpected, like fast win for Phelan. And at this point, everyone was, of course, kind of happy. So coming into the second game, the draft basically was Phelan. We have Zion top lane, Kane jungle, Cassiopeia mid, Varus on Morgana bot lane. And for Digital Warfare, time they had Ornn top, Brave jungle, Orianna mid, and Karma Caitlyn bot. So again, what do you guys think about this draft or previews? Again, start you.
Well, I'm on good authority that Kane destroys Graves now. It's kind of like when the jungle's gone counter matchup, so that's now the counter matchup for Graves. So
Yeah,
that
basically.
obviously, I mean, you can look by the gold and the levels that he's absolutely destroyed the matchup. I don't know. Deluxe just looks like he's smurfing everywhere. It's disgusting. Like how much he seems to be doing in the games. And I remember like watching him just pretty much
mean-
instigate. I think he 3-shot Professor Zen at one point, like with ease. It's pretty
Yeah.
disgusting.
I think
Uh,
looking at the draft, it's even if like the jungle matchup isn't good, you should have like because I know that a good Karma beats Morgana support. I think the push is contested, but like Karma has so much presence early just because her damage is like pretty nuts. If you can dodge a Morg binding, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
they
have to try it.
definitely have a shot, right? They have Caitlyn and Orianna late game. They have an Ornn. They have a Karma for the bot lane pressure, and they can
Even
farm with the
even
Graves.
yeah, even Orianna has like mid pro for quite a while because like she went Ludens as well, so she has like the cooldown reduction really early and the damage, whereas Deluxe will just have a tier, so he'll be able to zone with the ball. That's how the matchup goes from my experience anyway. So
I
like
think
even if Kane's invading the Graves, he has support from like his whole bot half of the map.
Go ahead, previous.
some of the games just literally came down to actual player skill. To be honest, I mean, I remember watching like as I said like before, like Gillette's just going in and just killing everyone. Like I think it just comes down to sometimes it's just player skill versus other player skill. And they just had better players, I think.
Deluxe new best mid in Div 2 question mark.
He then OP that no one was talking about. All this time it was my strategy actually to hype Billy and Bango, so no one will pay attention to the lags.
Don't get too carried away. I still beat him. It's a triangle. It's a combat triangle. The top 3 mids.
Actually, the thing about the lags is that he's so inconsistent. One day he's Faker, the other day he's Billy.
That's, oh shit. So there's no difference. That doesn't sound inconsistent to me. Peppy told me that Deluxe can like smurf an entire game and then seem to just AFK click down the lane and die for unknown reasons.
Yes, it's
So-
absolutely unknown. You basically he's the pure RNG. You just pray the day before the matchup. You're like, please relax, be a good player today. And if he's a good player, you're like, oh, he's actually challenger. And if
Yeah.
he's about the kind of unfortunate. So for this second game, again, I think Digital Warfare they played kind of decent the early game, but then at some point they died randomly. They were just kind of I guess tilted from last game on. They just call kind of we got the hour sport spikes and we just were able to get control of the game and after that just win, making it a 2-0. And actually it was kind of because first game was like 23 minutes, second game kind of a
Mm.
quick 2-0 against East Warfare, which was I think unexpected. It was actually kind of sad from my point of view because it was like this big matchup feeling game needs to win this to secure the big matchup and then it was just a quick 2-0 and no real fight there. So let's see if tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the final at 7 UK time or Central Europe. I think it's
It's
UK
probably
time.
okay.
Yeah, at 7 UK time. You're going to see the final between again Phelan Game and Digital Warfare. It's going to be another best of three play. And this time Digital Warfare has 1 week, had 1 week to prepare because basically when you lose, oh, uh, basically you know everything that the enemy team did to against you, and at the same time yeah the enemy team doesn't really know what are you going to come with because
How are
they
you
just beat
feeling
you.
about the matchup?
How I am feeling about the well,
How are you
like,
feeling about the matchup?
oh my god,
Are you
that's
digging it?
stop it. Just stop it. Don't even.
You think
Oh
you'll
my
win
god.
this war?
Oh fucking god. That's so
Will
bad.
it be a quick 2-0 or a OT for you?
Um. So coming for tomorrow. I mean, I'm the host. I shouldn't be the one that sends the questions. But I don't know. I guess it will depend on how the Lux is feeling. So let's just hope that the Lux is feeling good and we can get a nice matchup. Can get. I want to be a 2-1, and I don't really care who wins. I just want to be like 3 games that are actually nice and entertaining, even if they are kind of clown fiestas. But at least to be kind of some hype and some who's win and not just insta insta loss from one team. And well,
Are there
basically
any?
that's what I was going to ask you guys. First, Billy, what do you think? Who you think is going to win? How you feel?
Um,
Because if Phelan wins because you won against us, you could technically say that you are as good as the best team.
we're the unofficial winners.
Yeah.
You got that?
I'm in the chat, thank you.
I
I'm
think
the actual Radiant, come on.
I think well playing against both the teams personally when I think Digwall like have had the consistency about them. Like it didn't really matter if we beat them or one lane was behind. They would play solid. And then when we played against Phelan, it was like tilt Aether, and you have like a 6-man advantage for some reason, and like it made me really question whether they could take the game. But then they go into the game and like easy shit on 2-0, and it's like, well, now I don't know anymore because our feeling dig was like kryptonite because that shouldn't have happened. You can't really apply logic to the situation when a team that has been consistently beating every other team just loses 2-0 and like doesn't even lose gracefully. It's like 2-19.
Yeah. I mean, like, when I played against them, like, in my opinion, like, Digwall looks like a better team playing against them, and then it's just, yeah, it's kind of the same thing if they just threw it all out in the water and just gave up kind of thing, I don't know.
But we also have to consider that Digital Warfare was playing for nothing really because they were
It could
already
be same
secure
back.
first place, so they didn't really require to show much in that matchup. So maybe they were kind of like they weren't hard trying for that matchup. and also you can make an argument that even then, if you agree that between if they believe that from the competitors like maybe Axel Finland, if they felt like not preparing that much because they just keep the whatever they had in plan for the final because they are already secure to be there. So maybe you could an argument that yes they had been consistent, but this last matchup did not really matter.
I mean, then like it loses a bit of competitive integrity though, because it doesn't matter for them, but for the rest of the league, it's like it shakes up like second and third, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe that was one point to be made. Folks, do you think it's going to take out the final
I
again?
mean, it would be nice if it wasn't 2-1. It would be nice if it was real hype. Oh, who's gonna win? These teams are so close, but unfortunately, Phelan are gonna 2-0 them really easily. And I don't even think I'll need to watch the games to know that.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
He's using the he's hyping Philgan so they failed. Oh my god. So either will have more ego. Is that
Oh
is
shit.
that the strategy? Make other ego be so fucking big that it uh previous who you think is going? You said that Finland was going. No, Digital Warfare. I ask
Um, I
you.
I think at the start of the, I think at the start of the season I would have straight up gone, yeah, Diggle would have won it. But I think looking at the games that Phelan's played, I think as long as the players' mentals hold, I think they'll easily win the games. But I don't know if Phelan loses the first game, I think they're going to struggle to win the next two. I think so. I'm going to say Phelan will win, but it'll have to be a 2-0, just purely because I don't think they would actually win if they lose the first game.
Yeah, true. I think momentum is huge in this series. Like
Yeah.
if there's a noticeable lead in a game, I think whichever team has the lead is going to be like steamrolling the rest of the way. To be honest.
Interesting. So basically, Billy, you're saying they just put down for the
I think
Twitter for everything.
Phelan are gonna tour.
Feeling 2-0, Fox. You're saying feeling 2-0 really confident.
Yes.
Previous, you're saying
I go Phelan 2-0 as well. Screw it.
oh, this is fucking terrible. We're going to lose. Fuck. I already see it.
I'll just put the nail in the coffin and just 2-0.
Phelan are
Everyone,
gonna 3-0. One up.
fuck. Because coming into Digital Warfare, Phil, it was like, Digital Warfare is going to win, and we 2-0 them. Now everyone is going to be Phil is going to win. I can see that we're losing. You are jinxing this. Oh my god. So, well, let's review kind of the end of the league, how it went, for kind of a final, by before the final. Also, just someone should stream the final, and I'm just saying that we could have Billy and Fox, kind of the analyst desk of that stream, just hinting something, someone,
I'll give
it
it.
could make.
I'll give it a go. I'll cast.
You can be there, just Okay,
Maybe
let's
also stream it.
review. Let's review this. So basically, we have here Phelan as first, but is fucked. So it's Digital Warfare first, Phelan second, Axel third, Castle fourth, Enclave 5, New England 6, Hyper Academy 7, and Radiant Esports finally are
Hey,
last place. It took
Dude.
them a while, actually.
dude, we weren't even last place until like week 6 or something.
It was actually hard, but what do you think coming from the start of the season where Newcastle was able to win the first place, Finland second? The end of the season, what do you think previous? How was that? Do you think that the standings are maybe what we expected from start of the season, or was
um,
shaked up, or what do you think?
I think there was a lot of hype behind XL, to be honest, because I think they were meant to be the one of the bigger teams. I think to be honest, you guys probably would have had a shot at getting first or second. I think you just gave up one or two of your games. I think it was.
We had to
But-
forfeit against Enclave Dusk. If we 2-0'd Enclave Dusk, we would finish first with the
Yeah.
same results that we had. So
So it's quite weird. I think it's weird. I think if Radiant had actually stuck, because I knew we could beat Hyperion, because we even beat them in the qualifiers with a worse team than we actually had like half throughout the season. I think we probably would have actually got 5th or 4th. I'm pretty sure, because it was very close when we played against New England. That's when they had their challenger, like jungler and support as well, and they got rid of them. So I'm pretty sure Radiant would have been like probably 5th, probably actually 4th. Like it's like against the games like in Newcastle Jags, like it was so close to the games. It was, I mean, we shouldn't have lost them in all fairness. It was just, bad macro pretty much from certain players, and so I think if certain teams didn't like forfeit games, I think the entire thing would be completely different. But I was quite surprised that Phelan actually did so well, though, to be honest.
Thank you, I guess.
Because I mean, like I played against them in qualifiers, and I mean, as I said, like I think Digwall was just a stronger team to start the split, but it's
they changed their mid lane in there. If they had Royals wins mid, they would have beat every team 5-0 hands down.
Fox, what do you think about this season? How it went for Newcastle Towers and everyone in general? Are you surprised being the 4th best team, or?
Certain things happened behind the scenes that I wasn't really surprised we got 4th. We could easily have won as well. I think we showed that in the qualifier when we had a good read on the meta. But our behind the scenes situation didn't end up working out so well. So we never really got to where we were from the qualifier. We just stayed at kind of that level. We didn't practice too much and stuff like that. But it was a blast playing, and I don't remember these games against Radiant that were that close, but they might even have happened.
yikes.
Yeah, we can pull up the
Yes.
results.
Dude, look at the Radiant versus Digwall game. That was tragic.
So you're saying
Unkilled
again
by
some
them.
problem in the backgrounds. Is again that PFI and kind of the kebab thing? Is he again throwing a team from the inside, play focusing, coming back with his back staff, with his master plans with Billy?
Yeah,
Was
me
all
and
planned
PFI,
again.
me and
I
PFI
think-
crumbled in the sleep from the inside out.
I think PFI was the only player that was really available to practice at all times and had the right mindset. Carney's mindset is also really good, but he was a bit low on time, as he is a medical student.
He's got time to scrim when you're playing ARAMs, am I right, lads?
It's all about the Fortnite, dude.
And Billy, what did you expect from this this season? Was
I mean, I obviously expect, like, we had a pretty strong roster going into it. I expected to finish first, but then at the same time, like, we had like 3 or 4 roster changes, and we had to literally forfeit a match that pretty much cost us like top like finals. So I can't be like, I'm not disappointed because of how we performed. Like, obviously if we beat Digwall we would have come first, but we dropped a couple games. Like, I think against Digwall actually that was our first game with our jungler, so we trialed a jungler in a Div 2 game.
just
So I can't be disappointed with how we played, but just the circumstances. So.
here's Phelan. We started as second in the qualifier. We ended as second in the kind of makes sense. It's just the same. And I mean, of course, Caster.
Dude, why is you on my team?
That's just like when when a pro player on the LCS retires, so they put Caster there so he doesn't feel bad. And he doesn't have to stop doing league related things. But this is the same here
Baby.
in the UK scene. When you
Baby
lose,
double
when you end up last place in the UK division, you just put your and the caster for the finals.
Yeah.
We are nice guys here. But yeah, for Finland it was like a good run, and well, we have to go for the finals coming tomorrow, and I don't even know if there's a prize for ending first. Like, get to no, because division is also going to finish, right? Because now you have this other thing, the four champion thing, right? So
Is it announced yet?
I'm pretty sure they'll still go with Div 1 and Div 2, won't they? Like,
Nah, I think they're scrapping Div 1. I think there's gonna be like a Div 2 sort of thing, but Div 1 is...
I don't think ESL would just scrap it altogether. I think they make too much viewers with this because
No, like Riot are taking over, right? So it's not ESL
all
to say
right.
no. It's like
Yeah.
Riot. They're incorporating ESL into their new thing.
Good.
but like so
Do you
this
just scrap it
ranking
nationally
matters
completely?
coming- So
Sorry?
this ranking, like finishing first or second here, matters coming in. Paying
I don't think so.
I
don't think-
don't think
I'm not even sure if like first place Div 1 matters in the Forge of Champions because it's like a brand new tournament.
yeah that's what it, so it's kind of this was a nice division, but it's going to be kind
You're playing for your paycheck here, Victor.
oh
Nothing
yeah,
else.
you get paid. My I
How much are you taking from Phelan when you win? All of it? I mean, Phelan still owe me 10k actually. I've not seen a drop of that money.
even if we win this, we don't have money to pay you the 10k.
Uh,
It's actually insane. Also, do you think, Billy, that because you didn't get paid the 10k on Excel, that's why you didn't perform best and finish guys third?
I mean, have you tried focusing on an event on games when you literally owe £10,000? It's not an easy feat.
But it's better 10k pounds or euros? Which one is higher?
I think pounds.
Pounds,
Oh.
yeah.
Sounds high, yeah. But no, Beely's absolutely correct. We could also tell he was very distracted, and I heard he's even seen a psychologist about it. So you guys really need to give him his
Yeah,
money.
exactly. I'm spending the 10k on therapy that I don't even have. It's a spiral, dude. I'm out of fucking control.
The worst mid in the User Division 2 is the most played, kind of the MSI thing here. Because you lost against Mango, so that day it was proven that Billy was the worst mid laner here.
But then, but then Vango lost against Deluxe. Deluxe lost against me.
Oh, but
So what's the truth?
the Lux lost against you when he was performing like you, but won against one when he was performing like Challenger, so...
What is this? Hello? Vango didn't even outperform me. He was 0-2 and 3 on Zoe in one of his wins. It doesn't count.
Oh, it counts.
It doesn't count. If that counts, then the whatever that Fiora score against in the game we played against you, he's better than you as well. Wait, what is it? Let me get it up. Okay. Yeah, Fiora 2 and 5, 2-5 and 0.
Oh yeah, he got me good, dude.
Outperformed you, dude. You need to work
Better
on your
top wins.
every game.
Oh, let's just go now and suppose that you guys probably are looking for teams for the new divisions and everything coming in the UK. So let's play kind of a fast game. You can only take players that were in the UK division, and you have to make a roster for basically it's asking which is the best roster that includes yourself with only UK division
course
2
it-
players. So let's start previous. You can start. You're probably going to say just Radiant. I mean,
That's a yikes. Um,
you are in the team.
uh,
You have to take only, and you're aware of the import rule.
okay. I gotta say corner top just because memes. I think corner is just fun to play with. It's just a really fun experience.
Well, sure, fine.
You know, I'm joking with them enough. Right? It's fun. Mid lane. I don't know, to be honest. Like mid lane, there's a lot of like decent players. I think on his day I'd take Deluxe, but I mean, I don't know. It's either Deluxe or Beely. Gotta be one of them two.
Oh, shit.
I think Beely's more consistent, so I'd probably go with that. ADC. I don't even know who half these. Fax probably. I think he's pretty good. And support. Definitely not Wise Traveler because overrated. Dropped down to D5, so that's yikes. I don't actually know. I don't know half the supports in Div 2. Let me just try.
Bunch of randoms. Doesn't
There's
matter.
giga randoms everywhere.
I'll take anyone.
I don't know. I think Professor M was actually like not bad, to be honest. I'll just say Wise just to make him happy.
Okay.
But,
Is there more than one coach? I'm here. Digital Warfare doesn't have a coach.
Tim Good, Mercenary, Frost, Heron. Oh shit, what else? Fabled. Don't know if you know him by any of them names. They're all his.
I
Yes.
don't know. But
Does-
Excel has a
does-
coach?
does
Yeah.
ex-coaches count or?
Oh, Mora is also coach.
Yeah,
Was?
I think Mora's like a really good coach. I think Radiant even had a coach, which was pretty fun. We had Impulse.
Victor add in the coach role just to hear his name 3 times. Yeah. No ego, lad.
No, I was actually asking because if there's more than one coach, it makes sense. Otherwise, it's just us makes no sense.
Yeah,
Impulse. Oh, this okay. Impulse guy too.
yeah. Impulse was the Radiant coach, pretty good guy coaching.
Okay.
Um,
If you
Yeah,
want say one coach, or you can say no coach. If you
I'd
feel like
probably stick
Digital
with
Warfare
Impulse.
go with no coach, quite good.
Yeah, I'd probably stick with Impulse, to be honest. I think he was a really actual good coach, to be honest, and he was talking about and really worked well with players. So
A really actual good coach.
yeah, good English
Wow.
right there.
The,
I'm not
the
right,
highest of
so-
praises coming from previous.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fox. Sorry. What will it be for you?
This one's really easy, actually.
Oh,
It's of course I'll start off like we would have Fax 80. He's simply better than everyone else here.
okay.
We would have Eric on top lane, and I know what you're thinking.
No, you
Wait,
have to
Paul,
take.
You have
you
to
have
be
to
on the
Oh,
team.
okay. Wait. He's role swapping.
But I am going mid lane because I am the best mid laner in this
A
division.
new player at the table.
I would grab Nolte, and I think I would just grab Mora as a coach, but I think I would just put him support because we'd win anyway. And then we'd have a good 4 to 5 player squad.
You just put Blappy mid. Grab a manager, screw it. And a Zia one trick in the team.
Okay. That's an interesting team, nonetheless. Billy, your time.
Don't think I can top that. Other than 5 Beelies, I guess, but it's not practical.
Nah,
I've
that's
only
not
got 2
allowed.
hands. 2 hands and 2 feet. I'd take Forks top for sure. I think if you give him a lead, it's really difficult to play against him from what I experienced. And like the top laners that I've played with like 3 top laners in 6 weeks, so I don't know any of them well enough to decide. Jungle, probably Nulty. I would say Donkey Jungler would contest it, but like the team I have in mind, I wouldn't want too many voices because the comms would just get so clouded. And I know that Fox talks a lot when he's ahead, so I wouldn't want somebody like too many overpowering voices. I take Vigo support. I've heard that he's like perma smurfer, so
Oh, I forgot the video. Oh,
AD
Sorry,
carry
Wes.
would be Fax. I think Fax like is so fucking consistent. Like, and he always does so much work, especially if he's with a bot lane like he's comfortable with. And obviously I take Victor coach XOXO.
Oh, you don't have to actually.
Nah, I
You
think
can
I
go
would.
no coach and do a Digital Warfare.
Yeah, I'll just do the coaching.
You can just do the coaching.
I'll
Oh,
be
but then you will have to pay yourself the 10k.
Can we stop talking about the 10k? It's giving me PTSD.
Well,
What about you? You build yours, Victor. You build yours.
I have to do. I was afraid you were actually going to do that.
And you're only allowed, instead of the import rule, you're only allowed 2 Phelan members.
Okay,
Ooh.
makes sense.
No, actually 1. No, fuck that. You're only allowed 1 Phelan
Fuck.
member.
Oh, so which one? Oh, fuck.
Pick
Which
your
Who's your
favorite.
Who's your favorite, buddy?
You gotta kill 4 kids right now and save 1.
I mean, I know the 2 that I will take, but oh fuck, if I only. Okay, so Tolan is Fox, because
That's right.
Oh shit. His ego is out of control now. Yeah, Victor's gonna put a shotgun to your head corner. He's not even gonna hesitate.
Jungle is really hard.
um,
Um, nah, I guess Nult is just too good. You have to take Nult in jungle. Oh wait, but I mean, I'm between Nult and Tent also technically
Oh yeah.
is
But then-
there, so
Is he there though? He's there for half the games.
so like, and like my problem is between Nult and B.
Flip a coin.
Here.
Holy shit.
Okay, wait, no, actually I take Nult. Then mid lane I put Deluxe cannot be, so probably take Billy.
That's it.
Yeah, I would probably go with Billy. And then for
So,
ATC,
wait, let me just pause. Because I heard you the other week, Victor, talking about Vanguard being the best mid, but when it comes down to it, when push comes to shove, Victor, who are you taking? So don't be acting up for your little stream, okay? Don't be showing off for all your friends in the chat. We all know who you prefer.
I will take Billy because he talks a lot, and I know that for sure. Meanwhile, Bango, I don't know much about him, and I know that Nolty doesn't talk, so I need a mid laner that talks. That's why I take Billy.
It's also just because he's the second best mid laner after me.
And
Yeah,
also, it's the thing that because we have Fox top and we're probably going to play top side, I need a mid laner that is not going to carry. I need a mid laner that is going to help resource for the top lane. So I cannot put Bango, who is basically a carry. So that's why I take Billy, because he's the support mid laner that can help the team. And then for bot lane, I will probably go obviously previous and wise traveler in the bot lane.
Holy, I'm not support. Screw you guys.
Now if I had to build the mid lane, bot lane, I'd probably be Fox, I guess, because it's just the best on support. Because Professor Zen is Aggro, I guess. Or wait, who was? No, because Axel was Embry. That's a no. He doesn't even play the game, so.
Holy moly.
Newcastle, who was the support? Newcastle.
What?
It's Dandy.
Dandy.
Dandy. Either.
I don't know if does he shot call for you, Fox?
I am the shot caller of our team.
Okay, so yeah, I will just take Professor Zen because no,
Yeah, what about Vigo?
I cannot take Vigo because I already took
Oh, yeah,
multi.
yeah.
You tell me I can only take one.
There's only one Phelan member.
There's only one full
corner-
member. Otherwise, it's Vigo always, but.
But he values Nulty over Vigor though.
Because
And he
He-
doesn't like you top. Take that to your game tomorrow. When Victor's drafting for you, just think in your own head. Victor would kill me if he had to.
like I take Nolty because Nolty is super consistent, and the thing is that if I have to take a jungler that is not Nolty, I think everyone else is worse than him. So it's just when in support they're not as like the difference is not as big, I think.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I
And
think consistency is more important than
yeah,
comms at this level as well.
Dude, I would have been consistent, except for,
Wait,
some
you
consistency.
consistently lose.
You consistently lost every single.
Yeah.
That is consistent.
I mean, it's got to count for something.
Yeah. Nah, you should do like your worst team of Div 2 as well.
oh, but
Oh my god, corner in the fucking chat.
yeah, Corner is interesting. Don't get a chat ban here too. Yes, Corner, calm down. The worst team, I don't know who's. I mean, Radiant Esports literally this one on
No,
its
no, no.
last
I mean,
place, so
like player by player, you gotta do.
I don't know. Because I don't know the last 4 teams. I know the first 4.
Yeah.
So it will be hard. Okay, go ahead yourself. Say one if you know players here. Oh wait, you can go A-League stop. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I don't know enough players. I think.
You know, shall we switch up? Shall we choose the worst team?
Oh
of the
boy.
two?
Okay.
For the last Phelan Pubs quiz of the consistent weeks, we should
Sure.
do the worst performing team. But I'm not going first.
Oh no,
Sorry.
I'm not going first either.
It's on you,
I
Pragus.
think host should go first, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
actually, Vicky, you're the one with all the knowledge on these
Yeah.
teams.
Okay.
You're a coach, by the way.
Okay, so top lane is Alex,
He doesn't count.
then jungle, fourth jungle is um uh I no, I was going to say maybe 10 because he doesn't play, but it's not fair, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't know,
You
maybe
don't-
BFY because the first
What'd
4
you
I'm going
say?
to say play focus improve because I know him. Mid lane, the wars mid, we already said it was Billy, so I'm choosing Billy again. You see, I choose him for both of my teams.
And you're missing yours. That's consistency right there.
It's
Make it
just
into
because I
every
really
team.
like Billy, and you know, it's just all friendship at the end. I'm always choosing Billy, so he doesn't make me pay the 10k, of course. Then ADC. Oh, either. Not because he's the worst, but like, okay, so I'm choosing either. It's like either when he has bad mental. That's the ADC and support. I'm guessing. Uh, Emery. Yeah, fast like because he doesn't play.
Thanks.
Like Emery with bad mental and either with bad mental. That's just probably the worst bot lane that you can get.
I
Yeah, for
agree.
sure. But it has to be when they have bad mental. When they have good mental, they. Okay, now Billy, you go.
Okay, I think it's difficult for me to choose the worst in terms of skill, so I'm gonna choose like the worst mental team I could put together.
Yeah,
That would,
basically you have to go for mental into
Like,
this.
it would just self implode like 5 minutes into the game. Okay, I mean it's gotta be Alix top. If we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
bad
it's
mental,
it's just Alex stuff. That Corner cool beats also, but Alex is a jungler main that plays jungle in
actually, yeah,
solo
that's
queue.
true.
So
Actually, I don't know because I feel like if Alix was on a team that, like, with his bad mental, it would like, you know how two negatives make a positive.
yeah,
He would just like stop caring so much that he actually had a good time. So maybe corner, from what I've heard.
yeah, Corner
Um,
cool beat too.
You said Rafa, but I definitely wouldn't put Rafa in a bad team because I can just imagine his laugh cheering everybody up 24/7, and that's not good if
That's
you want
actually
that.
super sweet. That's
Have you heard this man laugh?
yeah,
It's
I have.
impossible not. It's impossible not to
But when
laugh.
everyone is tilting, I don't know who will be laughing.
I think. I think
I
I'd
think he will be like,
actually,
oh,
in
what?
terms of jungle, I think I'd actually maybe take Nulty. You said earlier he's quiet, and I know he can tilt. So I think with the right setup, he
Okay, but
can.
as someone that has a screen with Nalti on this, even when he tilts, he plays good.
Oh, okay, maybe
That's
not
actually
then.
something. Like when he tilts, he overextends a bit, but he doesn't play as bad. But I think
Okay,
Rafa will like tilt harder in that
actually,
sense.
yeah. Wait, we can put Alix jungle.
That you cannot have like jungle and top. Oh yeah, right. You get corner top, like jungle. Oh yeah, that's a fucking. Oh my god.
I put Housen mid. I know Housen is a big old tilter boy, and he's not happy when he tilts. AD carry. I don't know. I think Emery, if Emery's tilting, he's definitely the support to go to for bad mental.
Absolutely.
AD carry, that's an interesting one. Probably Aether, to be honest. I can't imagine. I literally can't imagine either Emery or Aether staying in the game together for more than 5 minutes. Literally impossible for me to.
If I had to coach a team, I think I would just kill myself.
I think that's my team. It's corner top, Alex, jungle, house
Like-
and mid, Aether, AD carry, and Emery support.
You know the sad part? That was actually super close to being Phelan Gaming. Because you wanted to put an ulti. And
I mean, like, they're all solid players. Like, they're all actually good at the game, but
that was
Did you
so
say,
fucking
like,
sad
good
to
at
be
the game?
close.
all of them on a good day can outperform most people in this league, I'm pretty sure. Like the team I just said, like
Oh yeah.
corner, Alex, House. I don't know about House and I don't know about corner, but like I know Alex, if he's on a good day,
Yeah,
he could
like
do it.
Alex
Aether
is
on a good day is really good.
Aether is
Emery
super
on a
good
good
also.
day is the same too.
Yeah, absolutely. And corner is like, eh, but he needs to practice more. That's his problem. The problem is that he's getting all his accounts banned, so he never gets to practice. But if he was to practice, he could be good. Is that thing?
DFI roster. No, 10's too much of a meme, and no, because doesn't Emery and Lemo get along?
Yes, they
like,
do.
Yeah, so they're happy to. 10 is too much of a meme for it to be like. If he was on that team, he'd just start trolling, not actually have a bad mental. He would just not try. This team I've constructed, they would all try their hearts out and fail so miserably that they would go to Fortnite or CS:GO.
And then they will quit CS:GO to go to Fortnite. And then they will
Yeah.
quit Fortnite to get something else. I can already imagine that scenario. Folks,
I mean,
time.
right. So for starters, I'm gonna say that I play without nameplates, and I also haven't watched a single game this season, so I don't really know that much about the players. But what I do know is for my worst team, I'll put the entire Enclave Dusk roster. If they manage to play with Alex and not like give a strike or boot out their org. If I had to play one game with Alex top and then play another game with Alex top again, I would have, reported him after the game and just handed in my 2 week notice and got out of there. Real bad. That is a real tilter.
Okay.
They definitely have the worst mentality for sticking through that.
Yeah, seems fair. I mean, but at the end of the day, they did not disband. Radiant did.
Oi.
That's
I'm
true.
just going to point that out.
Their mental can't be that weak if they played 6 weeks of it.
Yeah. Previous worst team.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Alex because everyone else has said it because I don't want to feel left out. Jungler. I'm gonna say Enclave Dusk, the Hyperion jungler. I don't know. I played against the guy. And I don't rate it. Mid. I don't actually know. I gotta say Flappy probably because why not? Memes.
Sure. Oh, you should get Fluffy actually.
ADC is gonna be Rinker.
Yeah, we
yes,
all forgot about
team.
Rinker, I guess.
I don't know who
Yeah.
is Rinka. But
That
I
was
like
our old mid laner who role swapped to ADC, which was
Oh.
the most tragic thing I've ever seen in my life. Why you hated him as well? Come on.
Emery
Support.
and Rinker.
I don't actually know support. I don't know. Again, I don't really know that many supports to be honest in the second div, so gotta say fast because he's quit probably. That's probably my best way of not getting too much beef on Twitter.
he is probably the best answer. So well, here you have the best and the worst teams. They always have been. Well, that's kind of it. We talked about last week. Well, yes, last place from ESL Division. Make kind of a recap of how the season went, and everyone predicted a 2-0 Phelan Gaming to So that's going to be interesting to see how we look because everyone. And I don't know, unless you guys want to say something else.
Victor, with that mentality, you're making it on my team. Shit.
Yeah, me too, dude. We forgot the coach spot.
Oh, actually, if
No.
we really wanted everybody to literally just kill themselves, we'd have Victor as coach after every game, trying to tell them where they went bad.
Yeah, probably.
If anyone wants to fill in for a tournament for ADC, then hit my DMs up because I'm missing an ADC. So I'll just throw
It
that
is my
out there.
worst role, but I can play it.
If anyone wants to fill in, then sure.
And well, as I said, unless you want to say something else, I think this was kind of all from this.
Um,
Yeah, okay. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for
Also,
having me on.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us. Yeah.
thank you for everyone watching the stream, not spectating. And yes, we will probably. I guess I will do a one more film pub for the final to discuss it. Not quite sure. But yes, that was kind of all. So see you guys.
Thanks, babe.
Cheers.
Cheers.